In this video, I'm going to show how to write great cover letters using AI. So what really makes a great cover letter? So this is a LinkedIn article on how do you write a cover letter that stands out from the crowd. You can see it has 6 points: getting to know your audience, figuring out what their mission is, their values, their goals, and how you can contribute to them. Linking that back to yourself, like what have you done in the past and what are some things you achieved that can add value to the employer. Customizing the content for your specific role. So yeah, those are just a few things that you need to add to your cover letter. And if it's your first time ever writing a cover letter, you'll probably look for examples online. For example, this is Indeed career guide. You'll see different cover letters, and one of them that I looked at was this account manager template. So this is a cover letter showing an example, and the example is pretty bland, in my opinion. It's super plain. Um, they have a greeting, quickly talk about that they're interested in a role and their experience. Then it's going into talking about like some of the things they've done, and then just ending the cover letter. But it's not really telling a story of their career and how that links back to the specific role and the company values. So it doesn't really touch on a lot of the things that really needs to be part of the cover letter. And if you click through a lot of these examples, you'll get the same thing. Um, so using the regular Chat GPT, you could actually get a pretty good result. So this is like a chat that I have with GPT, where I'm asking it to help me build a cover letter. So can you help me build a cover letter? I'm applying for a software engineering job. It gives me the first draft, which is kind of plain, super boilerplate. So I give it the role. I give it my resume. So now it starts talking a bit about what I've done in the past and tying it a little bit back towards where I the job description. I think yeah, I passed in the role, so you could see it ties it back a little bit. But I also want to tie it back to some of the values of the company, so I also post that in. So customer obsession, raising the bar, seeking the truth, and then you'll see it comes up with a third draft. But then um, this third draft has an issue that like it's pretty much only talking about the values of the company now. Like the second sentence, customer obsession, then it's talking about raising the bar, and then it's talking about truth seeking. So that's one problem that you'll notice when you start playing around with LLMs, is that they have a really big bias for more the most recent messages, and the more you talk with it, it will start to forget some of the stuff that you said earlier. So you have to copy and paste that back in, and then also to get a really good result out of LLMs, you'll probably need to follow a lot of the prompt engineering best practices. So things like giving the model time to think, or um, asking the model to adopt the persona, that will help you get better results out of the LLM. But yeah, it's like a lot to wrap your head around. So I built out this um, quick web app called CV Me that essentially applies all of the best practices for prompt engineering, and it also uses multiple agents talking to each other to build you your resume. And I'll show some of that code at the very end. But um, it also like takes into account your resume, your personal story, your research, and job description, and it tries to use all of that um, for your cover letter. So you'll see some of the ones that I generate that it includes all aspects of this, and you could see that it's like an improvement on top of like just using this regular one that um, it's hard to give it all that context within the chat. So the first step is putting in a resume. Um, Over on my other screen, I'll just copy in my resume. Then you'll want to tell a personal story, like can you elaborate some of your childhood experiences, your education, some of your ambitions and aspirations. That will give the model a little bit more personal information about you, that it will help it to tell the story. So I'll just copy and paste that in. Um, then you'll probably want to do some research on the company. So um, this is a page on diversity and inclusion. So I'll go in and probably this app, you could summarize the link, or you could just go ahead and copy a lot of this in, copy and paste. I'll just do that, it's quicker. Um, so I'm passing the values, then saying how do we engineer at Databricks. So I'll also get information about that, and then I'll also want to get information on the specific role. So this is the job description. Um, so I'll add that in. So now we're getting all the pieces needed in order to tell a compelling cover letter, which is resume, a little bit about your personal story, research on the company, and job description. There's lots of other factors that we could include here, but I was getting good results with this. Um, so yeah, once it's in there, we have all the different pieces. We'll click generate CV. It takes a while because it's doing all that stuff that I mentioned, or all the multi-agent work in the background that I'll be showing in a second. But let's give it a little second to generate the cover letter. So you can see talks a little bit about, so talks about, let's see if this is any good. My journey to tech beginning. So it talks a little bit about some of my internships I did. Talks a little bit about Databricks commitment. This is not the best version, so I'll just generate another one. Sometimes it takes a couple, but you could see that it's pretty easy to quickly iterate on cover letters, and that's also one problem that you have when using the app here. It's hard to have it keep generating, because as you keep generating, see as cover letters as well, it starts making the context too big, and it starts forgetting about all of the stuff that you added previously. So yeah, so you can see telling a bit of more of a story. But yeah, how I achieve this is pretty much through using multi-agent systems. So multi-agent systems at a high level is like having different LLMs talking to each other. So in this specific example, I have let's see, I have three agents. One is Jackson, who's an assistant that helps me build cover letters. This person is the one that's actually building the cover letters. There's another LLM agent called Judy, and they're a recruiter who's excellent at analyzing cover letters and providing feedback. And then we have another agent named Drake, who's an experienced fact checker who analyzes cover letters and ensures the candidate is not lying. One problem with LLMs is that they tend to just make things up. So this other agent's job is to keep it more in line. So you could see um, at a high level, we start off Jackson with the job description and the company background. So they'll create the first draft. Um, they'll take the first draft, give it to Drake, who will fact check it, um, and give that back to Jackson, who will fix any of the hallucinations, basically fix any of the areas where they're making things up. Then it'll take the improved cover letter and give it to the recruiter, who will suggest improvements. And then finally, it'll take the recruiter's suggestions and come up with the final result, which is what you're seeing here. So yeah, I'll just quickly show what it looks like. We have our first draft. You can see the fact checkers saying that are calling some things out. So this is like some things that they should check. Um, it gives that feedback to Jackson again, who builds another draft, fixing some of the facts. Um, then the recruiter comes in and suggests some improvements, like um, including specific examples of projects or achievements and roles, tailoring your cover letter more closely to the job description, um, and then concluding with a stronger closing statement. So these are some suggested improvements, and then um, afterwards in draft three, Jackson takes the feedback from the recruiter and builds one last draft. So yeah, that's kind of the system. It's very simple right now. Like we have more ideas of like how to use more agents, different agents, do some better prompt engineering. But I think we're able to get some decent results with what we have so far. Yeah, thank you.